So yet after another amazing weekend in which Barcelona once again did their job in the title race, we got the job done this weekend. We have a big game coming up tomorrow in the Copa del Rey, a crunch game, a game that could be one for the history books potentially. We are back again, ladies and gentlemen, with yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast. Once again with my boy, Barca Boy 103. What is going on, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Bit under the weather, but super anxious for the game tomorrow. I don't know how it'll go. I don't know how it'll fare. Don't really. Copa del Rey is not really the super priority, but just whether or not we can create history again. We are a history making club, but very happy with the result yesterday or a few days ago. But all my mind, all my thoughts, and my efforts are all focused on that for tomorrow.
100%. Listen, man, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Barca Boy 103. As always, that's my guy. Make sure you guys always support us out here. Link is in the collab feature, guys. But listen, let's get straight into it. Obviously, man, let's talk about what happened on Saturday, right? Obviously, on Saturday, we were the first team to basically kick off, right? Early kickoff on Saturday versus Villareal, team that was currently third in the table, right? Who have been, pretty good, right? And surprisingly, man, what a performance. What a performance. What a result, right? Completely deserved. I feel like we played amazing in the end. It ended with Barcelona winning the game by 4-1. Lamine Yamal hat-trick. Amazing performance from a few players, right? So some players, room for improvement for sure. But yeah, what a game, right? Obviously, like I mentioned, it was a hat-trick by Lamine Yamal and a goal by Robert Lewandowski doing the job. And, we did concede in the end from thanks to an unfortunate Papa Gay goal. But listen, all around, great performance. I feel like the first half, we started like we went to go on, right? It was a great start to this. We really were very, very good in the game. I'm going to be very honest. I was very impressed with how direct we were in the game, right? I felt like every pass, every time we had an opportunity, every time we went forward, it wasn't just necessarily trying to hold on to the ball and trying to break them down. I felt like we were trying new things. I liked the fact that every time we went forward, we were aggressive. We were very aggressive, right? Yamal was trying to take on his man, trying to be an issue, right? Fermin was doing his job. Omo was a lot quieter in this game than usual, right? Amazing performance by Benal. What a performance from him, right? We're going to get into him. Rafinha, pretty quiet, but Rafinha is Rafinha. He's always going to be a problem. He's always going to be a menace. He's always going to be that guy who's going to be there to be an issue, right? And he was an issue, right? He didn't score, but I feel like he did his job, right, to be a problem in the attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, I was very impressed with the centre back partnership, even considering last time we saw this partnership between Kobashi and Eddie Garcia, it was the back-to-back losses, right, in the Copa del Rey first leg and in the Girona game. So I wasn't filled with confidence when I saw the lineup, right? So when I saw the partnership, it actually wasn't bad. I feel like they didn't do any wrong, really, right? Even Koundé in the game, I think Koundé was pretty good. I don't think he was bad at all, right? I think really out of all the four defenders, I think Bade was the one that was really frustrating me the most in the game. But, obviously we started well. We got an early goal from amazing pass, good good interception, great ball comes straight to Fermin. Fermin makes a beautiful pass to find Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal wasn't going to miss it. Amazing start. He scores, and then bro, that second goal, it just reminded me of Yamal last season, till end of last season. Remember last season when he scored the goal against Inter in the cup in the semifinals, the goal he scored against Espanyol, right? Cut inside, bro, right? Literally top bins. Right? That was beautiful, man. The way he absolutely cooked, bro. Cardona had, bro, he was having a nightmare, man. Now Yamal, he was eating my brother for breakfast and he was actually fasting. Right? My guy was feasting when he was fasting, bro. Right? Man like Ramadan Lamine is back. I told people, man, be careful, man. He was cooking last season in Ramadan. He's back again, man. Ramadan Lamine, bro. Right? But yo, he cooked him, right? Did well. Top bins, the top right hand corner with his left foot, man. Beautiful, amazing goal, right? That was all him. And then second half starts, and I was really impressed. I like the aggressivity, bro. From minute one of that second half, we came with that aggressive. We were thinking, yo, let's get that third. I was like, yo, I like it. And then we conceded a very, very sloppy goal. Sloppy, bro. Very sloppy. The defense, bro. Papa Gay, bro, should not be having that amount of space inside the box. under any circumstances, bro. I don't know if it was Kunde, who it was Balde, who was there, but one of them should have been marking Papa Gay. And they just left him all alone in the box. And then he was never gonna miss that. There was nothing Jean Garcia was gonna do about it. But credit to Flick as well. I have to say this. Credit to Flick with the changes. He made the changes very early, and he made the right changes. He brought on Pedri very early in the second half, right? And then, he brought on later on, he brought on Ferran Torres, brought on Lewandowski. I'm sorry, Ferran Torres came off for Lewandowski, right? We saw both Yamal and Rafinha both come off for Ronnie and Rashford, which I was very happy to see. But Pedri came on, and bro, that pass to Lamine Yamal, bro. Honestly, when I saw that pass, I said, "Oh, I've missed you, Pedri. Oh, bro, I have missed you so much, bro. Because, dude, no midfielder in this current Barca team is doing that pass. I'm sorry.
No midfielder in the world is doing that pass.
Dude, no one, bro. This is special. When I tell people, when people try to bring Vitinha in the conversation, talk to me about Declan Rice, about João Neves. Respectfully, bro, wash your mouth. Okay, bro? There's not a midfielder in Europe, in the world, that is talking to Pedri, bro. I keep telling people, bro, ballers, people with ball knowledge, who watch midfielders, who watch the great midfielders, who watch the Iniestas, the Xavis, heck, even the Scores of the world, the Zidanes of the world, right, who idolize those players, they will tell you, bro, Pedri is the best player, best midfielder in the world right now. This brother doesn't need GA. When I was sitting here, because we were doing shows since last season, I was telling you, bro, my player of the season is Pedri. Pedri. I was telling people Pedri is the heart of this team. Pedri is the blood, he is literally like the orchestrator. He is everything, the heartbeat of this team. When he's not there, you can literally see the hole in this team. I said it last season. I said, bro, we lost. I remember at some point us losing Rafinha. I remember at some point us losing Lamine Yamal. I remember at one point us losing Lewandowski. And you know what? We were always up there. We nearly won the quadruple. Why? Because we had Pedri. Pedri worked with everyone. Everyone that came to the play, Pedri was just doing his job, putting the ball where it needed to be. Every single time. This season, we've had injury issues, and look at how much it's affected us. And that pass to Lamine Yamal, bro, that was the kiss.
Don't forget about the pass as well for the Lewandowski goal. He's the one that made that great pass to Kunde.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to get to that. But that Yamal pass, first of all, bro, he literally split the whole midfield and the defense with that pass alone to find Lamine Yamal. And Lamine Yamal, first hat trick, man. Like, he deserved it. What a performance, right? What a performance. And in the end, like you mentioned, Pedri once again orchestrating, finding Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé put it on a play for Lewandowski. 4-1, Bob's your uncle. Amazing performance, right? And, bro, I'm not going to lie. I was so happy to see Pedri doing what he is doing, right? Because it just brings back, just brings back a rejuvenating mood. You feel me? But Hafed, I've talked about everything I need to talk about, bro. Talk to me about what you thought of the performance.
Yeah, I don't think it was, super fantastic performance, so to speak. I thought he played well overall. I was really concerned from the start about that midfield three, Olmo, Bernal, Fermin. I thought there was, no defensive recovery, no one to really help in defensive transition. Although Olmo hasn't played in the 8, I felt like that would have been a bit. We didn't play that combination as well, and we saw some of that in that first half as well. They were getting fire midfield quite easily. Koundé had a big block in the first half. They had the Iosi Perez chance that they missed as well. But I thought we defended quite well. I thought we were pushing forward quite well. We created some chances. Ferran Torres could have, had a goal. Rafinha had a good opportunity on the left-hand side as well. The first goal was, again, like you mentioned, a little bit lucky. Second one, individual brilliant. I like how the team reacted after we conceded as well. 2-1, you're thinking, oh, God, they're going to try and come back. This is the third best team in La Liga, right? You're not, at the end of the day, you can say Villareal crap in the Champions League, whatever, but in La Liga, they're the third best team. So you're thinking 2-1, oh, God, what's going to happen? And then Flick makes the generational substitution. One of the Villareal players came out after the game. The Comensa, he actually started in the midfield and started as the captain of Villareal in the game. Came out after the game saying, as soon as Pedri came on, the game was done. He came in, brought that control and tempo to Barcelona. We thought we could maybe get back into it. We weren't, quite decisive. They could have made it 2-2 as well with that, chance.
Yes, they did. They had a few opportunities too.
Or Lamine Yamal was fouled. Maybe that would have been, we don't know if that would have been ruled out by VAR or not, but that goal most probably, since we get robbed a lot, most likely would have stood. But he said as soon as Pedro came on, the control was different. Barcelona, they started, progress better. They started, not rush things. And that's exactly what happened. Pedro then creates the 2 goals that we scored in the second half on his own. The Kunde one for the 4th one. And then the actual assist for the Lamine goal. And once we got that 3-1 goal, it was cruise control. I don't think Villareal really pushed for it either. I felt like they kind of gave up afterwards. And I think Barcelona really put in a good, solid professional performance. I'll just maybe question that midfield control in the first half. Then, of course, the goal we get to concede was a bit annoying. Rafinha keeping him on side, not looking good on a set piece yet again. But overall, we can definitely leave the match quite satisfied. 4 goals scored as well, 3 points, top of the table. Let's hope that today Getafe can do us a little bit of a favor. But overall, I'm very, very content with the result.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like you mentioned, but I'll say this also, right? Obviously, like it was a very, very great performance. I have to single out some of the players, right, who I feel like impressed me, and those players that, I just feel like did not, right, that need room for improvement for sure, right? Now, first of all, one player I do want to talk about, obviously, Yamal, Pedri are going to get a lot of like the attention, but I have to give a shout out to Marc Bernal in the midfield. I think Bernal did such an amazing work in the midfield in the game, right? Because I'm very honest, I think Omo was very poor in the game. Really, for me, and I know he got 2 assists, but really, let's be real, right? I feel like, he did try a few times, with his energy, was bringing the energy, but he didn't really stand out. I feel like in this game, Bernal, out of the 3 midfielders, he was the one that stood out the most to me, right? I like the fact that he was going out in the defensive area, like trying to get the ball, right? Every time he had the ball, like I don't think he barely like misplaced a pass in the game. Every single time he had the ball, he was very calm. You understand what I mean, right? And I like the composure that he was bringing. And I was looking at Bernal and I was like, yo, you can see he's slowly more and more and more. It seems like every single week, right? We're seeing this guy. He seems to be getting better and better. He's growing more and more into confidence, right? And I love to see it. I'm loving the fact that, he's been given an opportunity, right? And listen, this just kind of, vindicates what Flick was kind of doing with him, right? Taking his time with him, right? Kind of giving him an opportunity to, get a full recovery before really trusting him, right? Right. And we're seeing it now, right? Very, very great performance. I'm very honest, right? If there's few players that I do need to call out, one of them is Alejandro Balde. I'm very honest, man. I know we give a lot of flack to Kunde, right? And rightfully so. I feel like he's been very, very poor this season, right? But I feel like we don't put enough attention on Balde's side because Balde doesn't do well either for me. I'm gonna be real. I feel like ever since that Atletico game where he was really exposed, right, in that game, right, since then I feel like he's really not recovered as much as like the other players in the team have. I'm gonna be very, very honest. I was very frustrated with his recovery in the game. Every time we lost the ball. Yeah, he was going forward constantly on that left-hand side with Rafinha. But every time we went forward, I'm going to be very real, I feel like Eric Garcia or Kobashi, one of them, was doing so much work defensively covering him. Because Pepe, we really staffed with Pepe. But I give a lot of that credit to Kobashi, not to Balde. Balde was barely working in his defensive work in the game. I think Kunde, fair play to Kunde. Kunde was trying. I saw Kunde a few times. He was running back, going forward, right? But with Balde, I was like, yo, I'm seeing this brother in the midfield when Pepe is on the ball on his bike every single time. Like, this could have been much worse in the game on that left-hand side, right? Mm-hmm. I was very frustrated with him. And I have to say, this is something I feel like we need to put attention onto Balde because Kunde gets the attention, and then Balde needs to also hold his flag for his work on his side because he's not doing enough of it, right? Yeah. We need improvement. This is why I keep saying this, Hafed, right? Obviously, I rate a lot of the players that come out of our academy, right? I think our academy does a good job producing a lot of players that do a lot of work. But I'm going to be very real. I feel like ever since we saw players like Lamine Yamal come out of the academy, we've seen Ansu come out of the academy a few years ago, right? We saw Gavi come out of the academy, and now we've seen how all these guys have kind of like, trajectory just gone up, like Kobashi and all these guys, right? I feel like every time an academy player comes out, we always are so desperate to make them, to want them to succeed. Right? Sometimes, right, we kind of just wear our rose-tinted glasses because I'm going to be very real. Certain players, I'm going to be very real, they're just squad players. I look at certain players like the Lamine Yamals of the world. I say, if Lamine Yamal was in the Barcelona team 10 years ago, Would he start when we had MSN? Maybe not. But I can tell you one thing, he would be playing week in and week out because that's good. How good he is. You understand what I mean, right? He would be a competition. He would be that competition for sure. You understand what I mean, right? We would even adjust the formation just to put him in the team because that's how good he is, right? Pedri, I know he's not from La Masia, but he's one of our youngsters. He's been in this team since he was 18, right? He would be in Barca's midfield of 10 years ago. You understand what I mean, right? There's certain players in this team that you look at, you're like, yep, this player will survive. This player will survive. When I look at a player like Balde, I'm like, Balde, you're never going to take that left-hand side from Jordi Alba, respectfully. You would have never taken it, bro. 10 years ago, Jordi Alba was that guy. You would have never taken his place. You would have been his understudy, right? And that's my issue. That's why I always say, for me, I don't even mind. Yes, right back is a problem. But when I look at the left back position, I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not the issue. That's not the place I would long-term want to go and fix. Because I don't think Balde is... Maybe he could be. Who knows? But right now, I'm not seeing enough of him from where I want us to go away. I feel like he is. You understand what I mean? He's not ready for that stage yet. But that's on him, right?
I mean, I fully agree. I think Balde's having. I think both our fullbacks are having a very, very poor season. I think my issue with Balde is that since that breakout season when he was phenomenal under Xavi, the 2022-23 season, he has not improved whatsoever. He had a great season last season, but going forward, he's next to nothing. I've been very critical of Balde this season. I think that defensively he looks good. I think in build-up play he looks good as well. I think he'll little runs in the midfield. I think he connects well with Rafa. But in the final third, this man is absolutely dead. The one time he played good this season in the final third was against Elche. And people say, oh, don't forget about this versus Balde. I want to see that week in, week out. How are you an attacking fullback for Football Club Barcelona, but yet you can't even put a cross in? How is Gerard Martin better than you at crossing? Like, that is a fact. That is a fact. These things that Balde doesn't prove. I think he's in the team because he's good at defending and he's fast, which, great traits for a fullback. But the reason why he drops off, because like you mentioned, he needs competition. He knows that he can walk into a middle of a press conference, slap Flick in the face, and he'll start the next game. Now with Cancelo doing well against Levante, maybe there's a little bit of competition there now. But that is the main issue. Look what Cancelo did against Levante in the final third. He did that in one game better than anything Balde has done, I would say, in the past 2 years. I know even last season he was great. I think he had double figures in assists and stuff like that. He was, quite decent. But then just the team was on, railing form. What Cancelo did in that game, I've never seen from Balde point blank, period.
Right.
At all. Yes, he put in a good cross, put in a good through ball. What upsets me and what frustrates me is that he has it in his locker, but he doesn't execute it. Great defender. I think he sometimes he's a bit sus in terms of holding the line. One of the weaknesses him and Koundé, mainly the fullbacks. I think his midfield. I think his runs for midfield are fantastic. He opens up space, makes driving runs, great dribbler. But again, in the final third, he is not as effective as he used to be. And also on top of that, we've seen no improvement. I think there's big issues with Barcelona's fullback, especially in the final third. Yes, Koundé had a good game against Villareal. We'll check that off as Newcastle, Atletico Madrid, and Villareal. Whoa, 3 games, and we're in March. So there are things. I think you're definitely right to think that. I think we definitely have a bit of a fullback issue at Barcelona, especially with the ability in the final third.
100%. And also another player I need to call out. I've been calling this guy out for years. Not even now. I'm gonna be very real, man. I've just had enough. And you know what it is, right? I know we are kind of like short in options, but honestly, at some point, this is something we need to address. I'm getting tired of this Ferran Torres dude. I'm gonna be very honest, man. I've had enough. Because let me explain why I just had enough, right? Because for some reason, it's been 5 years, Hafed. 5 years, and we're still trying to make Ferran Torres a thing. Like, I don't know how much more evidence we need to understand that this guy is not Barca quality as far as starting striker is concerned. I have said on this channel, on other channels, when people have asked me, I've always kept the same energy. I would rather have a retiring Lewandowski start in this current squad than a Ferran because of 2 things. Number one, when it comes to Robert Lewandowski, he may not have the pace. He may not have the power. He may not have the things that made him special. But the one thing that has never left him is his finishing. And he proved it in this game. I know people are going to say, oh, it's a tap-in. Doesn't matter. He was at the right place at the right time. Positioning. Every single time you look at Lewandowski's goals, is he making runs? No. He's at the right place at the right time to always get the ball where it needs to be. Whether it's a corner from a header, whether it's tapping, whatever it is, he always knows where to be. That is something that is special about him. And I always say this is why I would rather have him start, because he's more likely to get goals for me every week than Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres is the definition of a purple patch player. I've been saying that since I've been on YouTube, Hafed. I've said that about this guy. I'm like, guys, this brother is literally the definition of a purple patch player. When you see a player, right, he's the kind of player who, when he's on his purple patch, you will think this guy is the best striker in the world in his purple patch. No, I'm being dead serious. There's a reason why Barca fans drink the Kool-Aid with this dude, right? Because when he's on his purple patch, he can go 5, 6, 7, 8 games scoring, brace, hat tricks, all of this. And you're thinking, wow, Ferran Torres, what a form he's been. He's been amazing. We need to start him every week. And then the purple patch ends. And then when the purple patch ends is when you really start getting frustrated, because it's not that his form drops off, goes down. It just completely falls off a cliff. Like, look at the last few games, bro. How dead this dude has been. Like, it's one thing being quiet. It's another thing. This brother it's like playing with 10 men when we have him on the pitch in the last few weeks. It's like, dude, like, even in the game, I'm like, bro, what did you do? What did you do in the whole game? Like, how is it that Lewandowski came on the pitch and already did more in 5 minutes than I saw you do in almost 70 minutes on the pitch? This is the issue. I'm like, bro, sometimes when he in his form, it's like playing with 10 men. And that's why it frustrates me. And this is what I've always said. I do not care. He is a bench player. He's the definition of a bench player. He does his best work from the bench. Let's just keep him in his best role. We did that last season. Last season, when Lewandowski was firing, we had no problem starting Lewandowski every week and putting Ferran Torres on the bench. And Ferran Torres had his best numbers last season on our Barca shirt. Why? Because he's being played in his role. We weren't trying to force him in the strike in the starting 11. No, he was playing on the bench and he was doing an amazing job. Every time he came up the bench, he got goals every single time, and he was working well. But this season, everybody just all of a sudden wants to put him in the starting 11 again because Lewandowski is old. Respectfully, and all Lewandowski does more for the team, not just for himself individually, but even his runs, his positioning. He gives defenders something to worry about because they know we can't keep this. We have to keep our eye on this dude because if he gets the ball, he could still score. But that's the problem with Ferran Torres. Most of the time I was getting frustrated. I was like, bro, I'm seeing Ferran Torres outside the box when Rafinha and Yamal are running. Like, I'm seeing Rafinha on the ball, right? Like, trying to cut inside. And I'm seeing Ferran Torres in the edge of the box. I'm like, bro, why are you there? Get inside the box, man. Give these defenders something to worry about. Get the defenders off Rafinha. You're putting all the attention on Rafinha and that's on yourself, bro. You got to put yourself in there. You understand what I mean? And I'm just tired, man. Like, I'm going to be very, I've seen this now so much now. I'm like, I'm just tired of sounding like a broken record. Nothing will change with this dude, man. This is what he is. He's a bench player. That's all. I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think the issue with Ferran Torres is just really, really, really inconsistent. And he's someone that we shouldn't be relying upon. I liked his role last season. I liked his role this season. But since Lewandowski's dropping off in age, he's getting a bit more, prominent abilities up front, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, he's on a poor drought. He is still, our top goal scorer for the season. I think the hat-trick gets back to kind of, Fugazi did a little bit. But I still think that it's frustrating. And then again, we do need a striker this summer. We do have that option of Rashford that you always keep mentioning. I would love to see that on a more consistent basis now, especially with Ferran just not firing on alternate alert. Yeah, it is very, very frustrating to see on a consistent basis, especially when he does score. He gets all upset. He goes like this, and then he'll go on like a 9-game drought. It's very annoying.
Yep. Well, listen, and speaking of strikers, unfortunately, we're going to segue now to the Atletico game because before we talk about it, obviously, the news that came out this morning, bro, just as if my day couldn't get, like, just as much as just when I thought I couldn't get more frustrated with our striking issues. Lewandowski comes back, scores a goal, the confidence is up, and then he gets an injury, bro. Like, oh God Almighty, man! Like, dude, we've been hit with the injury. I know, listen, I know Madrid fans are gonna go, "Oh, welcome to our world. We always have an injuries, bro." Nobody cares about your club. I'm talking about my club, okay? When it comes to my club, I'm worried about what my club is. I don't care about you guys, okay? You don't know about our injuries. You don't care. I don't care about yours, okay? I'm worried about our injuries, bro. I'm already in it, man, bro. Most of our key players in this team are just getting injured, bro, left, right, and center. We just got Pedri back, and now we've lost Lewandowski. We just lost De Jong. Like, bro, this is really frustrating, man. But like, I don't know. I haven't heard like how long the injury is with Lewandowski. Hasn't been
He'll
confirmed.
just be out for this game. He'll probably start wearing a mask like Eric Garcia did. But it's just for this game he'll be out for because his nose needs 48 hours of not touching to recover fully. Or sorry, not his nose, his eye socket. So he's kind of a little bit blind. So that's the issue. That's why. It is very, very annoying. It is very frustrating as well. But what can you do, man? It's these niggling things that are so annoying.
No, they are. They are. Well, listen, Hafed, let's not get to the important stuff. Obviously, tomorrow, big game. It's the Montada time, as many people have been saying. I've been seeing a lot of Barca fans bringing up that conversation. But obviously, second leg of the Copa del Rey, we have a mountain to climb now, right? Very huge mountain. But football is a funny sport. Last time a team was 4-0 down and came back. Guess which club it was? I'm just saying. History has shown we've done this before. Anything is possible. But obviously it's a long, long hill, right? And look, when I look at Atletico, man, I feel like they put all of their eggs in the Barcelona basketball because ever since they beat us, right, they have not been looking good at all. At all, bro. Their defense has been absolutely dreadful, bro. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, is there a shot? There's always a shot. Football is a funny sport. But it's very unlikely, obviously, like you mentioned, right? But I feel like Flick might be brave and be confident. Maybe that is the reason why he decided to take off Yamal and Rafinha in this game. I think he's trying to go into this game with like the mindset of we got nothing to lose. I'm just gonna go for it. And we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna put all of that. Like we're gonna go in, and if we get it done, then we create history. If we don't, then at least we can give something for the fans to be happy about. But Hafed, big game against Atletico Madrid. What are you saying, bro? Like, what do you believe? Do you believe it's possible?
I mean, a lot of things are going against us. Lewandowski getting injured, which means that Ferran Torres will probably start. No capacity for the stadium increase. We're going to be stuck at 45,000. We might not even have an animation stand for this game. So it's absolutely peak. I was quite optimistic. I remember we did, the pod after the 4-0 loss a few weeks ago. And I was like, you know what? I think if we have everything that we need for a comeback, I'll fully believe in it. But we are slowly but surely losing all the key pieces I feel like that we need in making a comeback. So I am quite pessimistic. Of course, I don't doubt that we'll win the game. I'm just worried that they're gonna sell us a dream. They'll score like 2 goals in like the first half an hour. Like, okay, then we just win the game 2-0. That's what I'm really scared about. False hope. I think it's quite easy to say that we will not make the comeback. Talk about mountain declines, but mountains are there to be climbed, right? I think it will be quite the uphill battle. Of course, Atletico, like you mentioned, have rested and rotated all throughout their other games. They're treating this as, the absolute pinnacle of pinnacle. And I will say this, Atletico are a bottling club, right? They've bottled a lot of things over the years. We've seen them on multiple occasions. So they are a team that, have it in them to, choke this. That's giving me a little bit of hope. But of course, we have a chance to be because it's at the Camp Nou. If it was anywhere else, a neutral venue, or even at the Metropolitano Stadium, we would have, or Montjuic as well, we'd have no chance. I mean, let's wait and see. I am hopeful that Flick can set up the team strong enough and attacking enough to get on the front foot. All you need is 2 goals in one half, 2 goals in the other half. If you get a goal in that first 10 minutes. Anything can happen, really. We've beaten Atletico. We've scored 4 against them in 20 minutes last season. We've scored 4 against them on multiple occasions. The real question is, can we keep a clean sheet? Will Flick set us up attacking enough?
Question now, isn't it?
Yeah. Will he set us up super attacking and leave holes in the back? Will he set up us, neutral? These are the big questions that you have to, consider in your head. But I think Barcelona can get goals just whether we can get enough and whether we don't concede at the back.
And that's the important thing, right? Because I trust the attack to do their job. Even though we have Ferran Torres in attack, I expect
Yeah.
Lamine to perform. We got Rafinha to be back performing. I would rather have Rashford with my number 9. If I'm going to be honest, if I see him starting number 9, I'll be more confident, right? Having Pedri back to orchestrate, I feel like it can work out attacking wise. But you just mentioned it; it's the defense. And if I'm going to be real, I want to see some changes. I want to see Araujo in the defense in this game. Doesn't matter, bro.
I think you'll have to play, right? Because don't forget, Eric Garcia got a red card, so he's going to be
Exactly,
suspended for this
right?
game.
I'm going to
So
be
I
very
think
honest.
it means that he will. I think Araujo is all but guaranteed to start.
Yeah, I'm a very honest. I want to see Cancelo start on that left, bro. I'm a very the way Balde got cooked in the first leg. I don't even care, bro. I'm just like, bro, it doesn't matter. He was getting cooked. Balde was getting cooked anyway, so you might as well bring Cancelo. At least Cancelo might actually do some work going forward with his crossing. You understand what I mean, right? He got 2 assists, I think, he got an assist in the last game against Levante, right? And we're gonna need that. We're gonna need all of the great, ball into the boxes that we can, right? And all of that. We're going to need production of the highest level. It's not just going to be Pedri. We're going to need every single one to produce, put the ball where it needs to be for the attackers every single time, right? So for me, I'm a ready deal. I think it's very unlikely. I think we're definitely going to win the second leg. And here's the thing. Anything is possible. I think that, Flick might just go into this game and just say, listen, we got nothing to lose. Go out there.
That's what I'm thinking too,
Yeah. I'm like, go out there and just play like your life depends on it. At least if you lose with pride. At least the fans will know, okay, the players gave it their all today. That's
like why set up like conservative, right? Like if we lose, let's say 4-0 again because we went for it, is that a big deal? We lost 4-0 against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey a few years ago as well because we were, I think, we were losing. No, we were 1-0 down because Vinicius scored before halftime, so we had to go for it.
Yeah, but remember, we won the first leg 1-0 at the Bernabeu, and then they came back in the second leg and absolutely destroyed us in our stadium.
They didn't destroy us. We were just open because they went 2-0. Like, okay, we have
to
change the game.
because they scored early. Yeah, they scored early and we went for it. And we
so that could happen in this game as well. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But yeah, like if we lose this game 3-0,
I don't see that same thing happening because Real Madrid is different. Real Madrid actually attack. They set up in a way where they were going to attack us every time we went for it. I think when it comes to Atleti are not even going to attack us, to be honest.
That's the thing. That's my positive. I think no matter what, Atletico are sit there and just park the bus, essentially, right?
I think if we
if I'm Flick, they can go proactive, go from the front. Even if they hit us on the break and score.
Yeah. I think if we go 2 or 3-0 up is when they're really going to start maybe coming out.
Panicking,
if we are 2-0 up, they're just going to I'm sure if we go like 2-0 up, like Simeone is just going to be like packing everybody. He's going to be like, nope, we are not moving. Let's just put the wall in here, right? No attacking from anyone. I don't want to see no attacking. Just pack the box, right? And we get the third, I feel like that's when he's going to be like, we need to start countering these guys. Because if they get a fourth, we're finished. You understand what I mean, right? But I'm very honest, man. We have nothing to lose. Just go out there and just show us some character.
Would you go with 3 at the back? Would you change formation? Would you keep it like what we're used to? I would go with 3 at the back. I'd say Hafed just chuck everything for it. I'd go like front 3, Rashford, Lamine, Rafa. I'd have wing backs, Balde and Cancelo. I'd have a back 3 of Araujo in the middle, Kubarsi, Koundé. I'll probably just put Pedri and Olmo in the middle. You could put Pedri, Bernal, but have Bernal be that pivot. But I just have Araujo, Koundé, and Kubarsi just sit back, and I'll take a 3v3 or 4v3, whatever, defensive, and I'll go with Olmo and Pedri in the middle, and then of course João Garcia in goal. I think something like that will, because that's what we get. That's what we did for the PSG remontada, right? No one expected for us to change formation, and out of nowhere we tried to do formation change.
That's a different manager, though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Flick doesn't. This didn't Flick. I love the formation you just. But I personally put that. But the problem is Flick. Flick doesn't really change his tactic. Doesn't change it at all. I feel like he's going to put the same formation.
I think he won't change his tactics, but I think he can definitely change the formation. Maybe change person. Cancelo will be playing in the midfield. Pretty much, because you can have Araujo, Kobayashi center back, Koundé right back, Ball left back. It'll just be Cancelo in like a midfield position. So he could just do that. I think Flick can change formation. I don't think he'll adapt his style. I think you're right in that sense. But I think maybe have it in his luck. Maybe I'm being optimistic. I don't know, but
hopefully. I mean, hey, listen, I'll be surprised if he does, but we'll see. But finally, what are you saying scoreline wise, man?
I don't want to predict us to win and not come back because what's the point? But you know what would suck as well? We would come back and be losing extra time or penalties. I will say that Barcelona. I'll say full time after extra time 5-1 and Barcelona win on penalties. That's what I say.
I respect it.
I've never seen Barcelona lose a competitive penalty shootout in my life. So I would back us a penalty shootout. I know that, to be fair, Lewandowski's not there for this game, but Lamine has missed a penalty this season. Rafa has it, but I think. What would you? This is a random question. Would you rather just lose, or would you rather let's say we win this game 2-0 and we're out, right? Or would you rather us make it 4-4, then they score an extra time and we lose? Then you could say after the game, we went for it, we were close, blah blah blah.
I'll be honest. I would rather take the one way we went to extra time and actually lose, because if it takes it to 4-4, that's character. You've shown fight. You brought it back. And maybe you guys went overzealous. We tried to go for the fifth, and then we ended up getting caught out, and then they scored, and then they packed the bus, and then we were unlucky. At least I can say you gave me no hope. I had no hope before the tie, and y'all gave us hope. So you know what? Yeah. Credit to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's funny enough. I had 2 predictions. One of my predictions where I think we're going to win is where you mentioned it. I think we could win 4-0 and go to penalties and win the tie, right? Where it's going to be 2-0 halftime, 2-0 second half, a late fourth goal, right? To make it 4-0, 4-4 on aggregate. Now we go to extra time, no goals in extra time, and then we go to penalties and we win, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I personally, that's what I want, right? At the end of the day, that's the only way I see us coming back. But I think the game might actually end 4-1. I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to be 2-0 up, or 3-0 up, right? And then they get a goal. Or we're 2-0 up and then they get a goal. It's 2-1. So there's no hope. And then we get a third. And now, the fans are maybe happy that we at least, giving it a go. And let's say we get a late fourth goal. And all of a sudden now the pressure is now on, because now there's one more goal and we're back in this tie. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, in the end, at the end of the day, all I just want is at least give us a fight. Give us a fight. Give the fans something to be proud of. At least we can say, hey, you know what? They fought till the end. Right? We were just unlucky, man. But it is what it is. But listen, guys, let us know what your prediction is about this game, guys. Let us know. Do you guys believe? Do you believe? Right? Do you think that this team can get it done? Do you see a PSG versus Barcelona remontada level coming back again? We can only pray. Anything is possible in football. They told us we couldn't do it in 2017. They said it was impossible. And we
don't forget who made the remontada name irrelevant.
Exactly. All right. Some clubs, they like to talk about remontadas. They never get it done. We got it done.
So we've done multiple remontadas in the Copa del Rey too. We've been down 2-3-0, a bit easier score lines, and we've come back. Remember the one in lockdown against Sevilla? There's another one against Sevilla, and the
2-0 down. When the second leg 3-0.
I'll never forget. And then in Anfield, the Anfield season, we were also, I think, 2-0 down to Sevilla. Then we beat them 6-1 at the Camp Nou or something like that. So we've had some comebacks. Yes, they're small ones. Look at the comebacks we've done this season in a singular game too.
I think the Anfield was the one where we actually lost. Remember when we 3-0 up and we lost the second leg.
No, I'm talking about in the Copa del Rey. We were facing Sevilla in the quarterfinals. We lost at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan 1, I think 2 or 3-0.
We were 2-0 down, and then remember it was actually Piqué who scored the late goal.
No, Omar. There's another one. We made 2 comebacks against Sevilla. So there's one the Piqué one, but then in the Anfield season when we won La Liga, we lost the final of the Copa del Rey against Valencia. We got the final.
Okay.
Because that season we played Sevilla at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. I think we lost 2 or 3-0. Second leg at the Camp Nou, we beat them 6-1. So
yeah. Listen, man. Hopefully, anything is possible, man. Hopefully, we can get another remontada. Just to kind of just ram it home.
Need a goal. Just give us a goal in the first 10 minutes. That's all we need. And I think that's all. You get that, and we're flying.
Yeah, that's all we want. Just
2 goals by halftime as well. We're cooking. We wanted 2 goals at halftime against PSG. Then we thought that we got it. That's all we need, man. All we need.
We just need that. Just give us something, because I feel like if you give us something, the fans.
Also, I would love to give Atletico a penalty.
Capacity.
I'd love to give Atletico Madrid a penalty as well. Let's say we're 1-0 to 0. We give Atletico a penalty. We save it as well. Get the crowd up going again. Remember in that Sevilla comeback, we were beating Sevilla 2-0. They got a penalty. Ter Stegen saved it against Ocampos. That just gave us more energy to make that comeback. So this little penalty save of Joel Garcia, his first penalty save for Barcelona as well, would be sensational.
Absolutely. But listen, guys, it is what it is, man. Hopefully, on Tuesday, we will be sitting here celebrating an incredible remontada again. The remontada of all remontadas. Listen, it's the year of miracles. It's the month of the miracles, man. Anything is happening. It's important. Yeah, anything can happen during this holy month. But listen, man, pick up to every single one of you guys. Let us know what you guys think of everything we talked about in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Barca Boy 103. Link is in the collab. Big up to you guys. Yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast. Peace. Fiscal Barca.